August 25th, 2014 to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kudrick.
Present.
Mrs. Bowles.
Here.
Mrs. Kraut.
Here.
Mrs. Beard.
Here.
Mr. Theed here.
And Mrs.
Thunderberg
Thunderberg
and-
and Mrs. Buckley are excused. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have an amended agenda in front of us, and the only thing that's been removed from the agenda is Ms. Smith's presentation under further curriculum. That part's been removed under report of the superintendent. She's going to present that at a later date. Under item 4, which is consent agenda, all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature by the Board of Education and will be acted upon by one motion. There will be no separate discussions on these items. If any member of the board or any citizen requests discussion of an item, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will become the first item of business under the report of the superintendent portion of the agenda. A, approval to approve the minutes of the Board of Education of the regular meeting of August 11th, 2014. I also would like to add on an amendment to the minutes of August 4th, 2014, under concern of board members. Mrs. Bowles had a, under the questions and concerns of board members portion of the agenda, I'd like to add Mrs. Bowles had concerns, questions about City of Romulus Recreation Department program at Romulus Elementary on June 30th through August 14th. Added to the minutes. Item B, to approve the personnel actions as submitted by Gary Banas, Director of Human Resources. Employment of a band director at Romulus High School, math teacher at Romulus Middle School, recall third grade teacher at Hale Creek, third grade teacher at Rommel, math teacher at Romulus Middle School, resignation, Spanish teacher at Romulus Middle School, math teacher at Romulus Middle School, and a student services and central office person. Item C, approval to approve the bills of payment as submitted by Dr. Vincent Menza, Director of Business and Operations, in the amount of $676,177.75. Do I have a motion, please?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda, but I got just a discussion on it. Comment, really.
Support. Motion made by Mr. Kudrick, supported by Ms. Kraut. Mr. Kudrick?
I just like that, not to discredit anybody else that's getting hired and called back, but I'm really pleased to see one of our former students on there as the band director, our former graduate of our high school, coming back to the district and being employed. And I know we've had many of them in our district, you know, some new ones, some old ones, some been around quite a while, so it's nice to see some younger ones coming back too.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. The next item on our agenda is report of the superintendent. Mrs. McNally.
Good evening, everyone. The first item is a resolution for Reverend Evelyn Hopewell. She served the district on the Board of Ed for several years, and then also as a teacher in the district, and we have a resolution.
I move that the Board of Education adopt the resolution in memory of Reverend Evelyn E. Hopewell.
Support.
Want me to read the resolution?
Please.
Whereas the Romulus Board of Education was deeply saddened to learn of the passing of Evelyn E. Hopewell on August 2nd, 2014, and whereas Evelyn attended public school in the city of Detroit, where she attended Burton Elementary, Burroughs Junior High, and graduated from Cass Technical High School, and as a young lady participated with the junior choir, junior usher board, youth ministry society, and was assistant secretary of Sunday school at Greater St. Peter's of Detroit. She attended Tuskegee Institute, now Tuskegee University, where she graduated in 1963 with a Bachelor's of Science degree in nursing. She also earned a Master's of Public Health degree from the University of Michigan School of Public Health, a Master of Arts in Theology Studies from Michigan Theological Seminary, and her doctorate in theology with a specialization in philosophy from Trinity Theological Seminary. And whereas Evelyn served the Romulus Community School District in the capacity of Board of Education member for 6 years and was employed as a health occupation instructor for a period of 13 years, retiring in June 1998, and where was awarded prestigious Outstanding Teacher Award. And whereas Evelyn was a professional in public health nursing for over 30 years and a certified vocational health educator dedicating her life for the well-being of others through nursing and ministry. Now therefore be it resolved that the Romulus Board of Education extends their deepest sympathy to John Hopewell and family in the loss they have sustained. Be it further resolved that the Romulus Board of Education, speaking on behalf of all the people of this community, extends their sincere appreciation to the family of Evelyn Hopewell for her service and countless contributions to Romulus Community Schools, our students, parents, and community.
And I don't know if any member of the Hopewell family is here to accept the, I don't see it. We did notify them, all right? Okay, I guess we'll find a way to get it to them. They did request the resolution for for Reverend Hopewell, so I guess we'll contact them and have them come up to see it. Okay.
The next item is the lease for
Oh,
Mount.
wait, we have to vote on that? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Jumped the gun there.
No, I did it. It's my fault. Could I have a motion that the board,
We did.
It's already out there.
Motion.
okay,
Kraut
just gotta
and
vote.
Kudrick.
motion by Kraut, seconded by Kudrick. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Sorry about that, guys.
The next item is the Mount Pleasant Playground lease. This is the playground next to our Mount Pleasant School that's closed.
Need a motion, Madam Chair?
Yes, and,
Okay.
yes.
Madam Chair, I recommend the motion, move the Board of Education, give authority to the superintendent to enter into a lease agreement between the Romulus Community Schools and the City of Romulus for the use of the playground area at Mount Pleasant Elementary for its parks and recreation as outlined in the attached lease at no cost to the district. And the rationale is the city agrees to maintain the playground and equipment to provide a service the area citizens with a community park.
I'll support.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Kudrick, supported by Mr. Theed. Ms. Bowles.
I just want to say, due to the fact that the school district already has a deficit, budget for the 2013-2014 year, I'm not comfortable with leasing it out for that. I just wanted to say that.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Kudrick, seconded by Mr. Theed.
I just got a couple questions. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
Mr. Theed.
It's just a one-year lease, correct? According to this,
According to this, yes, this
Okay.
was.
It's year by year, right?
2015. And if I can forward to page, on 14.1, that the city gonna take all responsibility in case there's any injuries or anything, correct?
Right,
Okay.
right, yes.
I'm good.
And this lease was totally drawn up by our legal counsel, correct?
It's into the city.
Okay, so I have a motion by Mr. Kudrick, supported by Mr. Theed. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes 4-0, or, sorry, 4-1.
The next item is Romulus Recreation lease for leasing our buildings for their use.
Madam Chair?
Mr. Kudrick.
Recommend the motion, move that the Board of Education give authority to the superintendent to enter into a lease agreement between the Romulus Community Schools and the City of Romulus for the use of the school buildings for after-school recreational activities as outlined in the attached lease at no cost to the district, and the rationale is to provide a recreational activities for the children of Romulus.
I'm sorry, they ask also for a 3-year lease so that they can plan their program. This was drawn up as a 1-year lease, but I would like for you to consider it to be a 3-year lease.
You want us to put that in the motion for the 3 years?
Would you please? I mean,
For the duration of 3 years?
And
I just got a question.
I
if
need
somebody supports
I
it.
have a motion by Mr. Kruder. Did anybody second the motion yet?
Not yet.
I'll support it. We have to do that.
Supported by Mr. Theed. Discussion?
Madam Chair, I got a question.
Mr. Kruder?
It's actually just a comment for clarification for the public. What the Recreation Department is going to do in the building is not going to interfere with any school activities. School activities will supersede the Recreation Department. So if we have a school basketball game, football, or PTA meeting, school talent show, whatever, they're going to have priority before the Recreation Department. So don't think they're going to the school get shoved back, so. We've done it in the past for years, and it always worked good, so we're doing it again.
And if I know that when I first got on the board, it was explained to me that it's the taxpayers' dollars, and this is for the taxpayers' children, and so it's being paid for anyway by the taxpayers.
I know we talked about this last time, about the scheduling of the schools, and if the thing at Merriman School goes through, are we gonna, when we okay this, are we gonna be able to come back when the rec department gives us their schedule of what buildings they're gonna be using and what days and what times? I mean, we're gonna complete that with our school calendar.
that will all go on to School Dude, the program that we have for scheduling all of our buildings across the district. The administrators, when they have programs, they schedule it to a school week program.
Because I know we were talking about, with Merriman having a new gym, if we can combine, the less usage at Hell Creek and Barth to get everybody at Merriman, since that building's gonna be under the food group.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Kudrick, supported by Mr. Theed. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries 4-1.
And the next lease is for the Romulus Outreach Program, and this is for the Merriman School, elementary school.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Kudrick.
move the Board of Education give the authority to the superintendent to a lease agreement between the Romulus Community Schools and the Romulus Outreach Center for the use of Merriman Elementary school activities as outlined in the attached lease, and the rationality is to provide a centrally located food bank service center in the city of Romulus. And currently, this building is vacant right now, so it's a way to help the district.
All right, do I have a support?
Support.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Kudrick, supported by Mrs. Kraut. Discussion, Ms. Bowles?
Yeah, I just wanna make sure, this is one of the ones that were leased as well for $1, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But it costs us over $4,000 a month just to maintain it, so if somebody's in it, we're
get it.
making $4,000, so.
I get it. We got a
I
$1,188,000.
I understand, I'm just pointing it out,
I'm just pointing that out.
I know,
I'd like to have a little bit more, a lot more, to be honest.
well,
But we also do have the opt-out if we sell the building.
Right.
60 days, right? In 60 days.
well, I think if I remember right, the way the group was talking about, hopefully they can get the financial actually to, hopefully maybe purchase that and have it for themselves, because their vision of getting outside services to come in there, to have, way somebody comes in there with a problem, they can go like a one-stop shopping, they can get some of the aid or find the services they need for families, and I think Mr. Dunn they were even talking about possibly a child care there, early drop-offs and stuff like that, a bus from Hale Creek could pick the students up and take them to Hale Creek early in the morning, so it benefit everybody, so hopefully it works out.
And hopefully it'll stop a lot of the vandalism that's been occurring in our buildings too.
And
Well, with all the people that are involved in the program, I think it's got a lot of energetic people that are willing to do it, and well-known people, so that helps out a lot.
Is there any more discussion?
and this is a true non-for-profit, correct?
Yeah, there are IRS numbers here on the back. Okay, so I have a motion by Mr. Kudrick, supported by Ms. Kraut. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion passes 4-1.
The next item is the first reading of policy number, new board policy number 711, and it's the personal curriculum, the merit curriculum. And I'm going to turn it over to, as soon as you do that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Garcia, and she'll explain it.
I make a motion that the Board of Education accept the newly proposed personal curriculum, Michigan Merit Curriculum, for the first reading for policy 7111 as presented. Can I have a second, please?
Support.
Support. Motion made by Mrs. Beard, supported by Mr. Kudrick. Ms. Garcia, could you please give us an explanation about the program?
So I spoke to you about this briefly, I think, 2 weeks ago. And we've put together a committee composed of high school staff, administrators, counselors, and general education teachers. If you look at the guide, we very specifically lay out the path that can be applied to our general education students and the path that can be applied to our special education students. And really for our general education students, I know, Ms. Bowles, one of your questions was regarding if they change paths. And really, the only thing the state law really allows them to move around is their math credits, that second part of their math credits. And then the new law allows them to swap out 1 year of foreign language, not 2. So again, if you look at the documents, it's a very thorough and thoughtful process that everybody has to come to the table. Parents have to sign off on it. Their career path has to be looked at. Their college path has to be looked at it before it can be signed off on. So we were very conscientious of that. You are talking with teenagers, they can change their minds. And really, any of the adjustments we make should not throw off a college or a career path. Yep.
And personal curriculums have been around for a while, so this is actually getting it into our policies and utilizing it.
It has been around since they switched to the Michigan Merit Curriculum and Diploma criteria, which I think was in 2008, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. It just has been underutilized. And we can put the personal curriculums into play without a board policy. It's just best practice
Right.
to have a board policy, to have an official guide that can drive the
Because
decision
it's
making.
adjusting their requirements for their diploma.
Correct. And if you look, again, the majority of the adjustments really apply to special education students, and it has to be connected directly to their test scores and the accommodations they have in their IEP.
And it's just it's just modifying it in some areas. It's not, like, in other words, it's not reducing the amount of credits that they have to
No, everybody
graduate.
still has
Right.
to have 27.5, except for our community students, which we agreed was 22. And if you look, we followed state and county guidelines, which is the mastery, the level of proficiency cannot be less than 60% that's agreed upon for the special education students. And the percentage of content cannot be reduced less than 60%.
Right. Okay. So Mrs. Beard, I've made the motion. It was seconded by Mr. Kudrick. I can read it. The new addition to the board policy is going to be item 7111. And it reads, parents, legal guardians, pupils, if emancipated or of age of majority, content area teachers, or a school counselor may request a personal curriculum for the pupil that modifies certain Michigan Merit Standard requirements under Section 1278A 1A of the revised school code. The personal curriculum, if requested, cannot provide for anything less than the minimum 18 credits that the student must earn under the Michigan Merit Curriculum in order to be issued a diploma. A personal curriculum is for students with an individual education plan. Wait, this doesn't read right. A personal curriculum for students with an IEP shall consist of not less than 60% mastery of the Michigan Merit Curriculum content and not less than 60% proficiency of the designated Michigan Merit Curriculum content. The personal curriculum for students with an IEP shall be written based on the areas of needs as indicated by both the IEP, Individualized Education Plan, and the Educational Development Plan, your EDP. A personal curriculum for students with or without an IEP shall be written in compliance with the guidelines set forth in the Romulus Community Schools Personal Curriculum Guide. And that's what the policy will read. Again, I have made the motion. It was seconded by Mr. Kudrick. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for all the hard work in that, Ms. Garcia. Committee. Nice job.
Big committee.
Then the next item is for the Pumpkin Festival route to be changed and utilize our high school to stage the parade.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Kudrick.
move the Board of Education approve the request of the City of Romulus Pumpkin Festival to utilize the high school field for Parade of Lights on September 19th, 2014, and the Olive Street Field for parking for festival on September 19th, 20th, and the 21st on 2014.
Support. Discussion.
Motion made by Mr. Kudrick, supported by Mr. Theed. Discussion, Mr. Theed?
Just for the people, I believe that's just coming out of our ball field area onto the back street, correct?
Right.
Madam Chair,
Yeah, so
Madam
they're
Chair,
not using them.
I can
Yeah.
explain that if you'd like.
Mr.
But-
Kudrick?
What the Rotary Club does for the Parade of Lights, because they sponsor it, they want to utilize the back half of the high school parking lot, basically to be where the student parking area would be. We're hoping to get in contact with the principal and administration to make sure that everybody knows to try to have their cars out of there at that time, because they're going to use that for the staging area with the band. The route's going to be just a little bit longer this year, but it's due to the construction from downtown. This is going to be the safest way to do it. It's going to give more people opportunities to see it. Some people like the concept of going by the cemetery. Everybody's got their own on that. But they're still going to have judging. They're still going to have the 6 different classes. They're still going to end up at the Progressive Hall. Still need to have lots of lights on it. But it's going to be a different path this year because of the construction. And we're going to enter off of, they want all the floats and entries to enter off of Wayne Road. And everything, when the parade starts, will only exit out off of Tobine. That will not be an entrance, so everybody needs to enter off of Wayne, and the parade's gonna go out Tobine and down that way to Shook and then through town. But with the construction, we had to change it. We thought about coming through Grant Road, but a lot of people wouldn't be there because a lot of residents don't want a lot of people sitting on their front lawn in cars, and it's kind of difficult for parking and stuff. So hopefully it's a good thing. It's just a little bit longer, but that's okay. Hopefully the band will be able to hang in there too.
And also too, I think as the city's concerned too about some safety, because with the concerts in the park going on, people wouldn't be crossing the parade route and thus, at dusk getting, struck by cars. So I think on all safety concerns, there's easier mover that way. And then the city was more concerned about, the residents not being affected by the traffic of the float to try to cross into the concert goers. So it makes it a win-win to start it from that side. And that way the people going to the concert can walk freely and not worry about floats and stuff coming across their pathway.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Kudrick, supported by Mr. Theed. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-1. I'm sorry, 5-0.
was gonna say, who's
My
the
imaginary
one?
friend's here today.
Skippy was voting over there.
And the last item I have to bring to your attention is the welcome back tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Hope you can attend.
Unfortunately,
High school
Madam,
auditorium.
High school again, what location?
I won't be able to
School
attend. I have to be at work. I can't get out. Everybody took vacation.
That ends
This is the portion of our meeting where we get communications and expressions from the public. Is there anybody that'd like to, I don't have any forms in front of me, but is there anybody that'd like to speak tonight? Okay, and I have questions and concerns of board members, and I'd like to start with just giving condolences to the family of Jeanette Poole and the Paletti family. She worked in our transportation department, and she passed away on August 22nd. And there is going to be a memorial service for her on August 29th at Crane from 10 to 2. And I know she's going to be greatly missed, so that's all I have.
Yeah, Cranes.
Mr. Cooper?
Just, it's interesting going to the store here lately, seeing a lot of people in there buying their school supplies. A few of them recognized me this weekend over there, a couple of the stores. That's the pancake guy, and they wanted to know if the firefighter guy was gonna help them this year with pancakes. And they couldn't remember his name, but they knew he was a firefighter. But, told him we'd try. But, it was nice seeing him in there, a lot of activity, and I was kind of surprised. The little kid came up and said, you made me pancakes. I thought that was pretty cool. My wife said I never make her pancakes, and I got in trouble. But yeah, everybody, just folks start paying attention out there. The corners with the kids, the bus stops, be safe. Watch these little kids out there. You know, first couple weeks of school, some of them are all learning and remembering to look both ways across the road. So just be cautious and mindful of them out there. I know our bus drivers do a great job out there, so they've got their hands full.
Ms. Bowles?
None.
Mrs. Kraut?
No, I have nothing.
Speaking of school supplies, Office Depot has a whole bunch of stuff on sale. I know we just bought stuff for my daughter's class, for like everyone in my class. They had like notebooks for like 10 cents and pencils, binders for a penny. So if you got kids or if teachers are out there and they want to buy stuff, Office Depot's having some great sales.
And every school will take donations.
Yep.
Every school. I know Miss Berlin's doing a backpack donation.
Yep.
So
She's doing that.
if you have an urge to go back and purchase school supplies.
Okay, and then I just, Ms. McNally wanted me to remind everybody that school starts on September 2nd, and it is a half day for all students. And we wish everybody
Why
a
couldn't she be our superintendent when we were in school?
safe and happy
First day was always a
return.
full day.
Could I have a motion for adjournment?
Madam Chair, make a motion, we adjourn.
Support.
Motion made by Mr. Kudrick, supported by Mr. Theed. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Meeting is adjourned at 6:27.
Thanks for coming, folks.